let's say you have a class that allow you to create instances of social networks. So we want to create social network using this class social network, and it has a constructor that takes, let's stick to just 5 parameters. So it will take a name. We want our social network to have a name, a topic, to know if it should be used primarily on small devices like smartphones or on bigger screens, if it's used to send short text like Twitter, and we can also mention what's the max length of a post. So you see, this already makes 5 parameters. So let's quickly retrieve the values. So we want to retrieve the name, the topic, so see, even with only 5 parameters that you have to pass to the constructor, it's already becoming not very clear what you are passing. So let's say we want to create a social network that we might name Instagram. So to create an instance, we of course use the new keyword, and we pass a name, what this social network is for. If it's for small device first, yeah. And if we want to use it with a short text, and the max length of the post. So already we are not really sure what this true means, and this 200, what is it? Is it a status code or is it something else? So this is not very clear. So usually what I used to do for many years was to instead pass an option right here, a unique object, and then I could retrieve every property of this object, and you will see that it will make things immediately clearer concerning what the parameter is for, which means that now you have to pass an object right here, and you can specify that the name is Instagram, and the topic is showing creative pictures, that it is a small device first. We'll say yeah, because it should be used primarily with your smartphone, that it takes preferably short text, and that every post should be 200 characters long. So this is immediately clearer. But imagine if we had more properties. So let's first go back to what we had before, which is this can be removed, which is this constructor that takes 5 arguments, so it expects these 5 parameters. And now what we need to do is to create a social network builder class that will call the constructor of the social network. So it doesn't matter that now we have these 5 parameters. So let's create this new class. This is what we're going to use, and it in turn will use the social network class. So we create a social network builder class. As its name implies, it will be used to build instances of social network. It doesn't need to have a constructor, but it needs to have several functions that will provide the different parameters we will have. For example, we want to set the general properties, which will be the name and the topic of your social network. So let's create a function that we decide to name set general properties. It will take 2 arguments. It will take a name and a topic. So now we can use this keyword to set the name property of the social network builder name to name, the social network builder instance of topic to the past topic, the topic passed to this function. And very important, you need to return this, because this is how we will be able to chain the call of different methods of this social network builder. So the next step is to set if this is a small device first. social network. So let's name this one set is small device first. So you can name it whatever you want. And this one will simply take a single argument that will allow to decide if this social network will be for small device. So it will be a boolean. And again, let's use inside it what we will pass then to this social network constructor. Again, it's very important to return the instance of this social network builder by returning this. And we're almost done. Now we just have to define the text format. So is it for, will this social network will be for short text files, and how long should the post in this social network be? So let's name this one set text format. It will expect two parameters of is short text first. What is important is for these parameters to be self-explanatory, so people will immediately know what they have to pass. And the second parameter is post max length. So now we can take the current instance that is of social network builder that is currently being built. So this will allow to know if we want this social network to deal with short texts, and this will allow to provide the desired post max length. And again, what should you do? Return this. So now you'll be able to call the build method that itself will create a new instance of a social network, and it will return it. So we can return a new instance of the social network, and you can see that it expects a name, a topic, a small device first, etc. All these 5 parameters, and we have access to them because you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've retrieved 5 properties that match these 5 properties. Even if they don't have the same name, we know that is short text first will match short text, and post max length will match this. So see, you don't have to have the same names. Sometimes you can, as we did for name here, and topic, which is the same as line 4 and line 14, but you could very well have given different names here. The most important thing is that now you need to provide to this social network constructor what it expects: a name, a topic, a small device first, a short text, a post max length. So let's provide that. So we pass a name. As a second argument, it wants the topic. As a third argument, it needs the small device first. Fourth parameter is for short text. There is short text first. And so now when you want to create a new social network instance, so this is what we had before. Let's just comment it out so you can see the difference with what we're going to do now. Now if we want an Instagram, we create a new instance of a builder this time. And now we can call these methods there, their general properties, set small device first, etc. So let's do that. As general properties, we need to pass a name, so Instagram. And what else do we need? We need a topic. So the topic is showing creative pictures. Then we can call the set is small device first. And this one expects a boolean. Is small device. Is it for small device? Yeah, because it's a clone of Instagram. And the last method we will call is the one that allows to set text format. So we simply have to provide if is short text first. Yeah, we decide that it's for people who want to send short content. And what's the second parameter that is expected? So we need to pass a post max length, let's say 200, as we did before. And now remember that the creation of a new instance of a social network is what is returned by the build method. So now we need to build this object. The small device first is not defined. Oh yeah, because it should have been this. So now, if we console.log Instagram, we can see that the prototype is right. We can see that this is a social network instance, not a social network builder. This is very important because when you call build, this inside build returns a new instance of a social network, and it passes the 5 parameters that we want. Because before recording, I forgot to call build. So as a result, I ended up with a prototype of social network builder. I couldn't understand why is it a social network instance? Yes, because we create a new instance of this social network builder. But remember that you have to call build, and build returns an instance of what you're interested in. So now it is super easy. For example, if you have, let's say, just a toString method to display, for example, what this is. And this clearly shows that what is passed from social network builder to social network is properly retrieved. So we know that we have this social network that aims at small event first. It wouldn't be nice to simply see true or false. We don't know what would this mean. It works best on true or it works best on false. So we can use a ternary operator. So if this is true, we'll display A, and so we'll display B. So if it's small device first, let's display that it works best on smartphones. And if it's false, it will display on big screens. So now, if you call on Instagram my toString method, you can see that Instagram is a social network. Oh, I forgot either. Aims at showing creative pictures. It works best on smartphones. This social network builder is very convenient because it allows you to pass sometimes a group of properties that are related, for example, the general properties. Usually this is what the name of your social network and the topic. You could have created 2 functions instead of 1, but you see it made sense to pass the name and the topic. So you create an instance of a social network builder using new. You want an instance of a social network builder. And then you can chain the different methods simply because every method, it is very important, returns the instance of the social network builder you're currently creating, and you attach to this instance a name and a topic that match the name and topic that are passed. So it matches this. Instagram is the name, this is the topic, and you return the instance, which allows you then to call another method. So this one that expects a boolean, and you return this. So that allows to chain this method that expects these 2 parameters. And then inside build, when you call build, don't forget to do it as I did before recording. The build method of social network builder has to call social network. So you never have to call it directly. So it's no more an issue if this one has 5 properties or 10 or 15. If it had 15 parameters, you should consider creating your social network class differently, but this is another story. And so now if you want to create another network, if you look at your headbook, what do you have? Oh, you see, I made a mistake. I have a social network builder because I forgot to call build. See, it's easy to make this mistake. Now we have what we want, which is an instance of a social network. And we can see that handbook is a social network that aims at connecting with your friends. Oh yeah, I forgot a space there. Yeah. And it works best on big screens.